In this video, we're going to look at sand dollars. They are echinoderms, and they are like the Roombas of the ocean. Here you see a dead sand dollar, one that has bleached itself under the ocean. And here we see one of the Roombas that's still working. You can barely see its outline, but you can see the place that it's been. This is what a sand dollar looks like when it's still living. These are a little different from the Pacific sand dollars in that they're green instead of purple. Usually when you find a single sand dollar, you'll find a large community of them. And here you can see that we see the tracks before we see the actual sand dollars. See if you can spot where the sand dollars are before I show you. Lots of tracks. Where are the sand dollars? This is what clued me into the presence of the sand dollars. This guy hasn't been dead as long, and so he's darker. He hasn't finished bleaching. You can see the pattern, 5-petal pattern on the top. Those are actually his gills. That's where he brings in water, pulls the oxygen out of it. It's very similar to what you see with a starfish or with an urchin, that same 5-pronged pattern. As we move across the sand, we see more sand dollars. Some of them have been dead longer than others. Some of them have plants growing in them. Some of them are smaller. In Panama City, Florida, you'll find sand dollars about the size of a quarter more often than not. And they are out in areas of sand where it doesn't appear that there's anything else. Here in bay between Isla Mujeres and Cancun, there's a good bit of sand of grass, and that grass causes there to be more fish. More fish causes there to be more things in the water. More things in the water give the sand dollars more to eat. So these guys tend to be a little bigger than what I've seen in Florida. A lot of little Roombas running around. I like the pattern that the water makes on the sand. The sun is shining. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. See the creases on the bottom? Those are actually the channels, similar to the Death Star, where food is funneled into the center hole. That's where the mouth is. And so the hairs along those lines will be taking the food particles that have been picked up by the rest of the animal, and they'll be funneling them into the mouth. I'm going to take a few of these back to the boat and take some photos of them out of the water. Here are some of the fish that are living in the grass. They use the grass as a means of protection. They're small, they're almost the same color, and when a big fish comes by, they can simply drop down into the grass, and they're very hard for the predators to see. So they tend to use their natural environment as a way to stay alive. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the camera, and then I'm going to swim away, and that will give them a chance to come back. And they will come right up to the camera. Heading back to the boat, I stumbled on this guy. This is a Queen Conch. They are somewhat endangered. Quite a few countries have banned the import of their meat. This particular guy is a very young individual. And if you look closely, you can see his eyes as he's staring out from inside the shell. I guess I've called it a male, but I have actually marked it. I'm going to leave the camera here, and we'll let him go from being scared back to what he's doing. So you get a look at how he eats things from sand and plants. He will grow this shell, spiraling outward as he goes. So the older the conch is, the larger the shell will be. It actually does create the shell, unlike a crab, which just simply steals the shell. watch closely, and you'll see his mouth begin to extend from the shell, and he'll start probing at the sand. It's green. It's kind of cool. This is the beauty of being able to leave the camera and let it be the observer that doesn't move, and the wildlife will simply go back to doing what they normally do while I am 20 or 30 feet away. If you'll notice, he has a snout that has extended itself outside the shell, and he's using it to clean the plant that's in front of him. He's stripping off algae. And he moves across the sand using a hook that's inside. It's a rather tough piece of flesh that he uses to push the sand away. We'll take a look at that. Bye-bye. You can see the hook. You can see how he's pulling back into his shell. This is what he would do anytime a predator came up on him. It's a safe spot to be. The shell is relatively hard. A few animals, like octopus, could crack the shell, and the octopus has a neurotoxin that you can use. But I don't believe that they eat conch very often. They tend to be more crab eaters. I'm not sure what this animal slash plant is either. It just happened to be right near the conch. That's the only reason that I noticed it. It's soft, it's flexible, it's just laying it on the ground. So I'm not sure how far down into the sand it extends. But it does not seem to have any type of skeleton. And sometimes you see things that are drifting by that you just don't understand. This is a pretty cool structure. The camera did not capture it nearly as well as I can see it. But it's a very delicate, very fine, frilly structure. It's just floating through the ocean. And these things sometimes are kind of cool. In Grand Cayman, you will see a lot of very transparent jellyfish, very tiny, but I don't remember seeing any of these. Okay. And I had to slow the video down here so you could see this little tiny flounder as he runs away. The grass is a good protector of small fish. Makes them very difficult to locate.